Good afternoon again. Part two of my suggestions to Mr. Bolt regarding taking action against persons who are complicit or involved in the scamming or robbery of his resources and the other parties. First of all, I got cut off because I lost power, so I'm just using some emergency power now. I'm going to be winding up. And secondly, I realized that my math was off. I was really thinking of 50,000, but it was 40,000, which I stated, but minus 12 from 40 is not 38. Um, or you could do the maths. All right, so anyway, the prime minister will be left with 28 million as far as, let me make sure now. 10 from 40 is 30, minus 2, 28. So yeah, the prime minister we still have 38 million. Sorry, here I go again. $28 million instead. And just winding up the strategy here is that taking action is being proactive. So when I recommended that Mr. Bolt take civil action and the other parties take civil action, it was about being proactive, not waiting for the next 5 years before this matter gets in front of the court for trial or longer. Because as I told you, I've had matters in front of the courts, both the lower tribunal um, and the appeals court, now running 15 years or close and still waiting. And that's not good for anybody because we don't know how much time we have here. So, again, and in winding up, thank you for taking the time for listening and participating in my whole campaign to deal with corruption and crime. Because as I pointed out earlier, and you could contest it or disprove it, every activity that results in crime in civil society and in the country across the board, the apex, the beginning, original, the point of origin into infinity is corruption. Corruption is the beginning and it will be the end of criminal activity if we can solve the corruption in our government and in the community and society at large. So again, please be proactive. A lot of things are happening here, a lot of moving parts in this whole ongoing saga with Mr. Bolt. And I'll point out the thing that we should be taking note of is that this action these actions against Mr. Bolt is affecting all of us. That's why so many of us are commenting on it. It's not just about Mr. Bolt, it's about all of us. Because whether we're indirectly or directly affected, it does affect us. Part of the country, part of the economy, that the thievery and the scamming and the fraud and the corruption is hurting. So I want to thank you again. Have a great weekend. And hopefully, again, we can solve this. Not can, we can if people become proactive. And as I've said in the past, we don't have to be violent. We have the means, other means to deal with them. And one of them is the very courts where the corruption is. Let's use it for what it really was designed to do and use it to trap these corrupt people by us putting the court under an independent oversight committee of independent persons not related to the legal profession. So that's the problem we're having now. That we have all these people who are attorneys and they make up the General Legal Council, they make up attorneys writing laws for government and for us, and therefore we need independent oversight. Attorneys aren't the only intelligent people, and getting a law degree doesn't improve your intelligence. A law degree merely qualifies you to go in front of the court and represent persons on established rules and laws. So we can train people to do that over and over again. But what we need is an oversight committee of persons who are thinkers, who can reason, who have a sense of philosophy, who have a sense of morality and integrity and honesty to ensure that the courts perform as they should, and we don't allow them to continue to get away with the fraudulent activities that support it. The evidence is there. It's not just about me or what has happened to me and my partners. The evidence is there. We've seen it time and time again. And so we must take the necessary actions. Everything we do in terms of fixing the judiciary will fix the other problems, from political fraud and corruption to the actions of people in the street hurting other people. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Make sure you use your calculator to determine whether taking 12 from 40 is indeed 28. I think it is, right? That's what happens when you rely on technology. I was trying to use my brain, it's resting. However, again, the Prime Minister is displaying that he has a lot of resources and he can help to compensate persons. Government is not responsible, but the Prime Minister being complicit should be, or that's the indication or the allegation. So we have to be clear on that. He must prove to the people of Jamaica that he didn't know things were ongoing in terms of corruption and fraud and a collapsing, a pending collapsing of that agency, forcing him to pull his money. There's just so much things that we can fix and build our economy and our country to make it a better place. And this is one of them, getting rid of crime and violence. All right? So thanks a lot. Have a great weekend again. I'll be talking to you. Please subscribe, share the videos, and make sure you don't become the victim of the corruption and the scamming and